Happy Easter! The Lord is risen. On this Friday, within the octave of Easter, we will reflect on the third apparition of Christ to his disciples, as today's Gospel of St. John tells us in chapter 21, verses 1 to 14. As you know, the Lord appeared many times after the day of his resurrection in order to console and strengthen his disciples. Obeying Jesus' words, they went to Galilee and waited for him. Here, in the Lake of Galilee, the disciples will soon recognize the Lord through a miraculous catch of fish. The Gospel says that 7 of the disciples were together. Peter, John, and 5 more of them were waiting for Christ. We can perceive some signs of despondency in them. It seems that they were bored, sad, uncertain about what was going to happen. Even if they didn't understand the will of God very well, they obeyed Christ and went to Galilee, where they met the Lord for the first time. To dispel boredom, it was Peter who took the initiative and indirectly invited the rest of the disciples to go fishing. Here, we see a good example of friendship, to accompany friends in time of desolation. Here also we can learn from the disciples how to sanctify our times of desolation, keeping ourselves busy doing good things and encouraging others out of charity. Then the Gospel tells us that they spent the whole night fishing without any success. We could say that they didn't get rid of their boredom, nor did they get something to eat. Without Christ, things always get worse. But at daybreak, the newness of light comes. It's Jesus who, reaching out to them, brings to them a double gift. The disciples were looking for good human consolations. They went out fishing and wanted to eat. And Jesus, in his mercy, not only gave them what they naturally liked, but he also brought to them the true and lasting consolation of his divine presence. The disciples first interacted with him at a distance, but were not able to recognize him. It was only when Jesus repeated the miraculous catch that they opened their eyes. Let us see here how Jesus wants to be recognized by love first, and then by faith. It was St. John, the disciple whom Jesus loved, who recognized Christ in the miraculous catch. It is the Lord, the risen Lord. Then Peter, believing in John, jumped into the water and swam against the waves. How wonderful it is to live a life full of works of charity. The virtue of charity opens our eyes and allows us to see Christ acting in our lives. Then it is a life of faith, symbolized by Peter, that will lead us to see the Lord up close. Since Peter had a great desire to see the Lord, he abandoned the ship of human consolations and was rewarded with the sweet comfort of seeing Jesus again, with the consolation of hearing his words again. In this special Easter time, in which we find ourselves homebound, let us not only nourish great longings to be with Jesus, as the disciples did, by doing frequent spiritual communions and listening to the Word of God, but also, out of charity, let us reach out to those who live with us, finding occasions to share good moments with them, to encourage them in their faith journey. God bless you.